Based on my years of work with corner store owners, I have come up with a list of best practices for building relationships with small store owners. First, communications regularity. Second, introducing foods and beverages in a phased approach. Third, increasing consumer demand via effective promotions. And fourth, training of store owners. Good communication with corner store owners is essential, particularly regular communication. Visit your corner store multiple times during recruitment and ask for the owner. Try to understand their schedule and the best times to drop by and discuss the intervention. Once a corner store is recruited, aim for weekly phone calls and bi-weekly in-person meetings with the store owner. Designate the same person to consistently work with that store so that owners and staff get used to a particular face, and so a relationship may develop. Many corner stores, particularly in urban areas, are owned and operated by people of a different ethnicity than either your intervention team or the communities they served. It is ideal that the designated intervention person speaks the same first language as the store owner, but we know this is not always possible. In terms of a phased approach, it is important to keep the corner store owner's potential concerns in mind when intervening in their stores. It is typical that corner store owners will start off with initial suspicion or distrust of your motivations and whether or not the foods or beverages you wish them to stock will sell in their store. Thus, it's important to aim for some early wins, and this can be achieved through a phased approach. In the first phase or two, we suggest stocking more shelf-stable, less perishable items in an intervention. A lot of small store interventions start off with fruits and vegetables. This can be a big mistake because oftentimes for corner stores, sourcing fresh fruits and vegetables is difficult as their wholesaler or distributor may not carry them. Also, there's the added concern of perishability and the owners may not be sufficiently trained in food safety. So asking a store to stock a variety of fresh fruits and vegetables in a first phase is a very risky thing to do. This is likely to lead to a loss situation where some or all of the food goes bad, resulting in a loss of profit and potentially distrust between the store owner and the intervention team. So for some early wins, we strongly recommend in a first phase to start off with something that is a more shelf-stable, such as bottled water, higher fiber, lower sugar breakfast cereals, or baked chips, for example. As a starting point for your promotions, you will need to use your needs assessment to identify the best messages and channels to communicate those messages. When creating messages, you want to make sure that they are done by a professional or a team member who is proficient in an editing software such as programs found in the Adobe Creative Cloud. Be sure to incorporate the promoted foods and culturally appropriate elements to attract the community. Consider choosing a motif to run through all your materials. You want to select something that resonates with the community, for example, a local sports team, a fun character, or even local youth. Keep messages short and simple. Develop a recognizable logo and make sure to include your SnapEd logo. Once you have an attractive message, make sure to reinforce these messages via a combination of media outlets. Lastly, you want to train store owners. The corner store owner is your key player for the long-term sustainability of the intervention. If a store owner does not see the importance of your intervention or does not understand how to troubleshoot problems, the intervention may not be successful and certainly not sustainable. Consider providing one-to-one on-site introductory training on basic nutrition education, healthier food procurement, handling of fresh produce, and pricing. Make sure your training is specific for each corner store owner's training needs. These are a few practices appropriate for SnapEd implementing agencies. Keep in mind that if you are partnering with other agencies or seeking other funding sources working towards a similar mission, you may have the opportunity to employ other best practices, such as incentivizing, promoting structural changes, and working with the wholesalers or distributors.